Right, welcome back to another episode of S-StarTV podcast. Myself, Jawsy. We've got everyone who lost the last episode with Majesty. And today, I've got someone in front of me who I have to say is my favourite DJ from the underground, our underground scene, however you want to label it. And I'll tell him that time and time again when he thinks that I'm getting at him. But really, I'm never getting at him. It's just all, it's a podcast, so we've got to get information out of people and keep it entertaining. But finally, it's happened. He's appeared on other podcasts. He's appeared on other radio shows, and he's never come on mine, and it's taken probably, 4 years to make this happen, but it's here.
It's here.
It must be the time. In front of me, I have Lee B Free Adverts.
Yes, my brother.
What's going on, bro?
Lovely
You good?
to be
Thanks for
here,
coming
man.
down.
Yeah, man, come on.
Made the trip east to west.
Yep.
Put you in West London. It was sunny before you got here, but
It's all right. Still nice and calm out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. So, welcome on the podcast. Thank you for coming. As I said, how's life?
So at the moment, you can't, it's so. So, you know what I mean? Some days you have your up days, some days you have your down days, you know what I mean? So,
that's real, yeah.
Life, like as people say, life is lifing, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, you can't, I'm just grateful for being here and being in the present moment.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all you can be grateful for. So.
Yeah. Wicked, man. I was obviously writing my questions over the last 48 hours. I revisited the other podcasts you've done on I Love Sesh podcast, and I revisit them just to make sure I don't go over too much of the same points.
That's good that you've done that, man. That's good that you've done that, because a lot of people don't really do a lot of
Nah, come on, you should know that I do things properly.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so I went over them, and I'll be honest with you, the second one that I watched of you, when I watched it, one, it wasn't what I was expecting. Two, because I thought you was gonna come here and talk more about more music, but you was talking about more the mental side of things, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But also at the time, if I'm being honest with you, I thought, is Beefy all right? Like, I was thinking, is he okay? Like, he doesn't seem the same, or which is okay as well, if you're going in the right direction. Then I watched it again this time, and I thought, fucking hell, he's actually spitting some gems in there.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I watched it from the wrong angle first time. So because I was expecting you to maybe talk about this and about that, and you came from a different angle, I wasn't ready for them.
Yeah.
So then when I watched it again this morning, in fact, when I was driving, I was like, wow, he's actually spitting some gems in there.
Yeah. Well, at that time, obviously, everyone said I shouldn't have done it at that time. But obviously, I'd gone through a serious breakup, everyone knows. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's common knowledge. You get me? People don't talk about it, but it's common knowledge. And it was fresh. Do you know what I mean? So obviously what was coming out of me was a lot of realizations about things and about people and about life, because I had no choice but to now focus on that. Do you know what I mean? So I went deep within myself and within what's going on in my world, and what I'm gonna be doing for the future and stuff like that. And so
do you think it was the right thing to do at that time then?
Well, looking back on it, I didn't go into it because I wouldn't definitely not.
You didn't even go into the breakup.
I would never have spoken about it at that time. But I think do you know what? I was just talking about a realization that I would have always spoken about. Do you know what I mean? And I'm glad that I had that realization, and I've had that knowledge, or them downloads, or whatever you want to call it, to think and knowing myself and stuff like that. Because obviously if I didn't, then I might be stuck in a place where I didn't want to, I didn't want to be. Do you know what I mean? And because obviously what happens when you first break up is on depression,
of course.
You're broken-hearted.
All sorts of emotions.
Do you know what I mean? All sorts of emotions. So,
Because me personally, when I've been through similar, I don't know if putting myself in front of a camera, or I don't know if that would be a good place for me to be. Not because of the camera, but just more like, I don't know if I'll be in control of what I'm projecting out. But when I went back to you, a lot of the things you're saying was deep, about gems, but I wouldn't have actually associated it with your breakup. I just thought you was evolving, or you was, tapping into something completely new.
No, I did. That's what I've just said to you. I had to tap into a higher consciousness, a higher spirituality. You got to tap into your, do you know what I mean? Who you are. Do you know what I mean? As a person, you have to, because if you lose sight of that, then this is what happens. And you get realizations along the way. whoever it is, you know, you want to say God or, you know, let's say the Most High or, do you know what I mean? Whatever, yeah, you get your messages and stuff like that. One of them was one of my friends committed suicide. So you have to really look at it now, yeah, to say, look, how did he get there? Do you know what I mean? And it, obviously, I'm not saying it was before a breakup because it's different strokes for different folks, but you have to realise how these people get to these levels of thinking and actually doing. Do you know, like, so, like, there's no way that you want to go down that road. And if you don't get your higher levels of consciousness, you don't tap in, then there's only one way that you're gonna go. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, that's sad, man. But you know, like, a lot of people haven't got the same tools. You know what I mean? And you know,
that's why when I was saying, oh, like, is he all right? Really and truly, it was me, because I've had that done to me not long ago. People are like, oh, you've changed. But I'm like, I'm glad you're saying that. I'm glad you're saying I've changed. I don't want to be, one, I don't want to be the same person. I want to evolve, keep evolving to whatever is my surroundings at that time. But also, if you're progressing, some people don't recognize it. And with you, maybe I was thinking, right, he got mad, but it's only because I wasn't on that level or at that time. Doesn't mean like you're a level above me, but just means how you're thinking and where you're at in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, course. And you know what it is, the thing about it as well, like, there is a certain level of crazy. There is a certain level of mad that you have to be to understand it. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is, you know. That's why they got like people like, you know, Kanye West and people like that running around doing what they're doing. Ultimate troll. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Ultimate troll.
That's how clever he is.
Yeah. See, so you're getting what I'm saying, innit? So we don't need to talk further on that because obviously people don't think like on that kind of level because maybe they're not there yet, or, you know. Yeah, but each to their own, but that's what I'm saying. There's a level of crazy to this.
100%.
You know? So 100%. Yeah, that's what I believe.
Believe it or not, we are going to go on all of those topics, but I want to start on music.
Yeah.
We're going to start on the music side, then we're going to go on to like the mental health side or personal life and things like that. So what's your position at the moment in the music, in the industry?
What do you mean? Well,
where's B3 standing? Because, like, you know, we go back 10 years ago, what date are we in, 25? We go back 15 years ago, 12 years ago, B3 was, you know, the top.
Yeah.
Then he, you know, then he came down, but, you know, then he played his position. Then he, again, you went back up. Where do you see your position at the moment?
My position is staying in my lane.
Okay.
That is my position.
What's B3's lane?
My lane is just wherever I want to be. You know, like that's all it is. You know, like if I'm striving for the music, I'm really like. That's not me anymore, because as I say, in my realization, I realize you have to put to bed what matters and what doesn't matter, you know? And I can't allow like music or, you know, like the industry to make me think in a certain way of a level of where I have to be, do you know? Like, I'm playing good music to people. I'm doing, you know, what I enjoy doing, do you know? Like there was a time in that music world where you might say that I was at the top where I wasn't enjoying it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of what I felt that, you know, I had to do and what people wanted from me. Do you know what I mean? And what you expect from me and stuff like that. And I was realizing I was going up there and I wasn't being free. Like, that's my name. Like, I'm be free. Like, what you, like, you're gone up and you're not free. Do you know what I mean? You're not playing physically what you want to play. You're not expressing yourself how you want to express yourself. You're not even getting your own goosebumps off your music when you're playing it, because that's not the music that gave you the goosebumps. It might have been the music at a certain time which was, you know, like, it was very popular and, you know, like, profitable for some. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, like, I just feel like I'm kind of just staying in my lane and where I'm happy. And yeah, that's to be honest.
Do you think that comes with, well, one, experience, two, you know, within our scene, let's say, the higher you get, like you said, the more kind of boxed in you get.
Yeah.
And how you then get conditioned, right, this is what you should be playing. No one will tell you, but you just, you know the role of the DJ or the headline DJ, etc. So now, like, when you're at because you play a lot of underground parties, and I mean like proper underground parties, I don't mean like an underground small brand, I mean, you know, like your parties that go on in warehouses and things like that, you won't be able to see them online. I know you play at them. Do you feel, so then you're more free, like you said, to play?
I'm at home there.
So that's where you like it?
I'm at home there, like, I'm at home there. That is me in like my element. That's me, free. Do you know what I mean? That there is where, do you know, that's where I get my chance to let off, and do you know what I mean? Let off my steam and, you know, get my goosebumps, and even hearing other DJs that are playing there. Do you know what I mean? That move me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not disrespecting any DJs on this house scene or who we play with and stuff like that. There's a lot of the majority of the DJs, they don't move me like that. Do you know what I mean? And there's only certain DJs that, you know, like which we be with everybody. Do you know what I mean? It's not just me, but obviously where I consider myself to have a high intelligence in music, do you know, like I just feel like, you know, when people are playing this, like, you know, like all the new stuff that's out now, like I haven't bought a track really, or like I've been given tracks and stuff like that, I play and stuff like that, but I haven't bought a track off a beat probably for about 5-6 years. Do you know what I mean? And that's how the music, that it's not moving me. So I'm not saying it's just that our house DJs or whatever, but it's like music that's coming from, you know, higher up maybe, you know what I mean, or more of the more commercial DJs, you know, like, you know, a few Jamie Jones hits there and there, and, you know, just a few hits, you know what I mean, not really any tunes that's going on.
Do you know what, I came across something good the other day, and it was a DJ searches for tunes now by the year rather than new releases. So they might go back to 2009 and go back through the releases there and find some gems and then that's, you know what I mean?
Bro, I've been doing that. That's how I started. That's what I've been doing for years. Do you know what I mean? And then you check out the artist, what you've liked this tune, so, oh, you hear this tune, it's a banger. So that artist, you go and you look at his whole catalogue now. You look at who he works with. You get me? Like, I'm giving you some gems here. You get me? Right? And that's how I started off my thing. Do you know what I mean? And just going into all of their music and, oh, this track sounds good, and just looking at who they're working with and what they're doing and what they've been doing for years, and going to their whole back catalogue. Do you know what I mean? And that's 100%. That's the best way to find music. Really.
But even back then, you still, a percentage of what you played was still true to your sound, though. Not like the bait tunes, basically. Yeah, because
a lot of them tunes that I discovered on Beatport myself. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of these tunes, you know, like, and they wasn't like, it wasn't on that at the time when I got the tunes. Like, we could go back to that time. As I say, I could have the receipts in the Beatport files and stuff like that. I was getting these tunes at like 2009, 2010, you know what I mean, 2011, when I was doing all my collections. So all of these tunes wasn't currently getting paid, because we go back to 2012, as everyone talks about. Remember that, 2012. And I was like, I should have even bought it. I got my record case in the car
with my
vinyls in there. Do you know what I mean? And I'll show you the, you know, 2009 and stuff like that, 2010. So it was all before this when I was collecting all of these musics. You know what I mean? And then I started to play it.
Where was you raving to hear them sounds first? Because obviously
I was going everywhere, man. I was going to Egg. I was going to like all of these clubs
Bagley's
like are shut down. Like, not really Bagley's and Key. It was like there was a place called Victorian Vaults. That was in Shoreditch. It's like you go down like you know the beer thing. Outside the pub thing. You go down some stairs down into the venue. Mad, it was crazy. Like, so there was like all of these sorts of venues. There was Secret Sundays. Do you know what I mean? Club 1001.
What year we talking?
Like Brick Lane, 93. We're talking 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. Because I didn't stop raving. Let's be honest. I never stopped. Like, so it was like from basically, it was from 2025. That's when I started raving. And
house.
To house music. I
know you spoke about being in jungle raves and that.
That was 1994, 95. So let me just turn this thing off.
So what would you say back then? What was it like? Minimal techno, electro?
It was a lot of minimal techno. It was electro. It was what can we say? A lot of techno. So it was a lot of like, basically, you had to work out what was you had to work your way through. I don't want to say, because I don't want to call no music shit, but you had to work your way through the mud to find the diamonds. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly how it was. Like, I'm telling you, I'd be in a rave and I wouldn't dance for, I wouldn't be dancing for about 3 hours. You know what I mean? I'd just be sat in the corner, just like, usually be gassing and chatting rubbish with our mates and whatever. And all of a sudden the tune comes on, and I'd be like, I'd jump up. I'd be like, whoa, what's this? And then I'd go to the DJ, like, what's this tune? Because remember, I'm collecting tunes. I've got decks set up in my house, 1210s.
Were they vinyls back then?
Yeah. So I used to go to the record shop in Camden, Inverness Street.
Okay.
Danny M and Ray Stanley. Yeah, they had a Vinyl Rules, it was called.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used to go there, and they was DJs I used to follow as well, because they used to be playing out on the circuit, and they was like, because I kept on coming up to them, what's this tune and that? They're like, we got a record shop, And I'm like, what? Swear down, I've got decks, I've got that. It was all like a match made in heaven. It was all
into place,
it was all coming to me. This is the downloads and the messages that I was getting, and you have to act on it sometimes, and fortunately I did.
Sick. Love that, man. Right, let's move on to where I probably first come across you was Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
Yeah.
That era there.
What year though?
I think it was the end of 2011. I think it was, or the beginning of 20. Was it end of 2011? I think so. I can't remember. Or beginning of 2012. Can't remember when I first come across you.
Wow.
Or was it 2AD? I saw you. I can't remember. Because I dipped in house about 2007. It was in Key Club and Bagley's, them sort of days.
Yeah.
But then I went back out, and then 2011 is when I started going.
Yeah.
Avalon, Aqua, and whatever else. But yeah, man. So let's talk about those days, man. Like when we Can't Stop, Won't Stop. How close to your heart is that era?
Yeah. Do you know what? We was doing Can't Stop, Won't Stop from 2007.
Wow.
We was in Herbal first.
Herbal, yeah.
A lot of people don't know about that era. Like, we was in Herbal, we was in Platinum Bar.
Who are we talking about? Who's we?
Me, Radford.
Yeah.
There was a lot more DJs them times there. There was AC. Oh my gosh.
Was Max with you them as well?
Maximus. There was so many DJs, I couldn't even tell you. I think, was Darren Dynamics a part of it? He might have been. I'm not sure, it could be. There was a lot.
And how was it back then? How was it in the 07, 08 days?
It was like we was just traveling from here to there, to all of these different places. We was in Egg at one stage. We was just traveling like AD to AD, as you said. Like we was traveling around. We was just kind of making a name for ourselves, kind of thing.
So then, when did you find your home in Aqua?
I couldn't tell you the year. Probably about 2011. They said, right, we're moving. We've got a new home. That's what they said. Will and that, they come, we had a big meeting. They're like, we're moving, new home. Like, you guys, right, no fucking about like, the usual, like, get us on track. Like, right, we're getting, so we're excited now, you know what I mean? We've got aquariums in Shoreditch, like, we're thinking, Shoreditch crowd, like, we're just thinking, like, this is going to the, you know what I mean? We just, like, because Will, he's a good man at that, you know what I mean? Right, boys, gas you up, you know what I mean?
In a good way, though.
Yeah, great. No,
gas
sometimes
you up can mean negative as well.
No. Sometimes it happened in that way.
Yeah.
But, do you know what I mean? And obviously a lot, because we're all men, we all got egos, we all got, so, yeah. But it gas you up in that way where you're now looking with excitement. So now you're like me, that made me go into the computer, right? Searching tunes, right? I'm gonna be the right. Watch, we're in a new home and this, you know what I mean? And
So when was the moment where when things changed?
What do you mean?
Was it like because it took over and became like a culture sort of thing?
Yeah,
a family.
It was probably around
when was that?
Probably around end of 2011, 2011. Like it just. Like,
you must have felt something change.
No, do you know what happened? I'll tell you exactly what happened. Basically, it was like they started doing. We started getting busy. You get me? We started getting busy. Like queues was like big queues, like this, that, and it started like getting busy. Then Avalon opened up. I can't remember the event. I think it was Carlos Aries. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Avalon opened up, and they started doing the daytime. They got smart, innit? So they started doing the daytime thing, you get me? And then aquariums in the night. So everyone started getting gassed off at Avalon. So everyone starts going Avalon in the daytime. And then
that impact you?
That
impact you in a good way?
Yeah, because obviously they're booking us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then obviously it came into the mix-up now. You lot can't play at Avalon. Like, rare, this, that, the other, because this, like, they you know, like, they didn't really like the mix, because obviously they're thinking people are going to Avalon, Avalon's getting rammed, and they're not going to come to aquarium after, because remember, it's a Sunday and stuff like that, so people got work on the next days and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, I get it, you know, but obviously it was like, yeah, we started playing at Avalon and stuff, and then from Avalon, everyone was going to aquarium. So this is when Q's was round the corner. It was absolutely crazy. They was overcapacitating the place. I can say it now because it's closed down, but they was overcapacitating. Like that place, when I started hiring it, I understood you only allow 550 people in there. Certain times there was like nearly 1,000 people in that rave. So
it used to be ram.
Crazy ram.
I used to go. That when I first started going, I used to go aqua till 6, 7, and I had to be at community service at 9 o'clock. But I used to be there, and it's funny. I remember one week I went in, and I said to one guy, like, he just started his first week on. I started talking about music. He's like, I was at Aqua last night. I was like, shut up, I was there as well. And then I started seeing him in there. Funny, bro.
Mad.
So yeah, you saw the shift happen in 2011, and then like, where you must have just, did you feel like who was it you then? Radford, you, Max Van Morrison?
Yeah, Max.
Cotier.
By then, I think by then Cotier had come in. Who else did we had? We had Rosh Mixhard.
Yeah.
Who else was a part of it? Jack Jones.
Okay.
He was a part of it. Who else?
Would you say it now then? So like obviously that's when, what we saying, Deep House, that era?
Yeah.
Deep
Well,
House?
Tech House, isn't it? Really?
Tech House. Like we say Deep Tech, not together, Deep and Tech House. Would you then say that's when like a hierarchy kind of came in the scene? Because you boys were then the top dogs.
Yeah, but do you know what it is as well? Do you know, like I'll never say that I can put myself as a top dog, because then you'll be saying that, you know, you're a big fish in a small pond. Do you know what I'm saying?
That will take me on to some other things I'll talk about, because did it not feel like that at some points? Or did you not feel like...
I didn't try to
Is it going to get bigger than this?
I didn't try. I always, like, with me, I'll always strive for bigger. And if I don't get it, when I want it, in that time, I'll get fed up of it. Do you get me? And that's a part, kind of what maybe happened for me, in a sense where I always strive for bigger than that. Do you know what I mean? And being a big fish in a small pond is not where I want to be. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, like...
But realistically though, like, we're not... Everyone tried to do different avenues or labels or parties, style of parties, but so you're saying, did you feel boxed in then, in that scene, in the scene?
Not really, man. I enjoy it.
The scene was healthy though, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it was very healthy.
It
was very healthy. It was, you know, it was a lot going on at the time. Do you know what I mean? And like, to say that I didn't enjoy it was no. Of course I did. I enjoyed it, man. It was a lovely time.
Nah. My question was, did you feel boxed in though?
Boxed in. Kind of.
Did it reach a point where it's like, okay, where else can this go? Although, do you know what? Sorry, I'm not even letting you answer there, but do you know what? Like, even when I was writing this, I was thinking, if Can't Stop, Won't Stop was around, say now or 5 years ago, it'd probably have a festival, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like,
definitely.
It's a shame. Obviously, it's not a shame because it's the foundation of what's being built now. But it would likely be massive, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course, man. It would be massive, and it would be. But as I said, in it, so many different egos, so many different things going on, so much things to deal with within that time. You know, like it was not that it was always going to go wrong, but like we're all going to be striving to be bigger. You know, and we're all going to have our own individual mindset of what should be happening and what should not be happening at that time for you as a person. Do you know what I mean? Remember, like Radford, he got his label and stuff like that. He was doing a lot like he had management and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So obviously there was like, you know, there's that side of it as well. So we all wasn't like that. We all didn't have, you know, I mean, managements and stuff like that. So obviously, you know, Radford, he was going, you know, in the right direction. So when you're looking at that, you're thinking, right, is that what I need? Is that what I need to move forward?
Of course.
That's what I need to go, things like that. So when things like that kind of ain't happening for you, and as you say, you want to say it at the top of your game. Like anybody that you see, artists and normal people like that, that they're at the top of their game, people like management kind of come for you. They kind of, people try and lead you in the right direction to take you to that place. Yeah. I've realized now that you can't do all of that on your own. Never. It's not happening. Do you get me? And this is the kind of thing that, like, I feel like people will kind of leave certain people that strive for more and should be more. Because, you know, it might, you know, I don't know, it's like, maybe it might be a thing that they don't want to see, or they, you know, I mean, I don't know. You know, I haven't worked that one out yet. Do you know what I mean?
So was the start of the end of Can't Stop, Won't Stop when you all started to individually build something for yourselves?
Well, I didn't really...
Brand-wise,
I didn't really build anything, like, off of the back of Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I never.
So what was the start of the end then for Can't Stop, Won't Stop? Why did it fizzle out?
What happened? Yeah, all arguments happened in the camp, innit?
Okay.
And a lot of arguments happened in the camp. You know what I mean? Everyone was like even at one stage, I got suspended. This is how bad it was. I got barred from playing for about, can't even remember, about 2-3 months or something like that. 2 months, got barred
by
from
the team.
Yeah. I got barred from playing because
what did you do?
I can't even remember now. To be honest, I swear to you, I can't remember anything. It's just me in my mouth or something. Like I don't know what happened, but I got barred from playing. So there was things like that going on as well. So there's like, right, it's going off every week. People are coming and they're saying, where's B3? Like, where's B3? Because like that herbal times, do you know what I mean? It was a lot of like, that's where I got my name. So by the time obviously I've got to Aqua, there was a lot of like people and that was rooting for me.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So it's like, where's B3? Where's the
B3?
I'm like, you lot are still going there though anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but you go there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but did they release the lineup, so?
Yeah. And I wasn't on it, and people was like, why ain't you on it? This, that, the other. And I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what I mean? If you got my back, boycott this thing. You know what I mean? And they got everyone playing the same. You know what I mean? Every week, you get me, and I'm not on the lineup. So, yeah, these things kind of dishearten you and stuff like that. So it makes you build up some kind of little vengeance and things like that. So anytime the next argument's happening or whatever is, you know, and it just got, I don't know what happened, something happened, and then Radford left. And then me and Radford had a conversation, and I said, I ain't like the way that they're dealing with me as well. I said, you know what, I'm gone as well.
I swear. Oh, so Radford was the first to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I left. Fair. And then after that, they was still doing their party and stuff like that, and then eventually, I don't know how it happened because we wasn't there, innit? But it fizzled out.
True. And then sad, really. So of course, but big, great error anyway, though, massive man. To where everyone's at today. Yeah. So what came next to you? Was it House ENT?
I was in House ENT already.
Oh, you was in them
by
before?
That time. Yeah, okay. I was in House ENT. By the time it all broke up, because remember, that's another reason as well. So glad that you touched on that. That's another reason why I was just like, do you know what?
Yeah, you got something else.
Yeah, I got something else here. Do you know what I mean? And these guys more like believe in me as a, do you know what I mean? Not like as an individual. Because remember, I came there from Dudley phoned me. Do you get me? Because he's heard what I was doing. He heard a CD. He was like, listen, this is the craziest music I've ever heard. I don't understand it. I don't even truly like it. But this is crazy. You have to be a part of this thing. You get me? Like, he didn't want to take no for an answer. So when somebody's talking to you like that, and it's somebody that you relate with, like, who's like you, who you can see, you know, he's come from probably similar backgrounds and stuff like that, you're like, okay, this guy believes in me.
Nice.
So yeah.
what did that era there do for you then, House Entertainment?
Yeah, man, that done a lot, man, because remember, House Entertainment, man, that's another sad story as well, man. It's like, do you know what I mean? I got to salute him. But anyway, that's another sad story as well, man. The demise of House Entertainment, man. Man, you look at all the artists, man. Look at all the artists that they had, bro. Look at the team.
Yeah.
It was crazy, Jaws. Like, seriously.
How long was you guys together? Or how long was the label and the movement together going?
Oh my God, that's a hard one for me to even remember. It's probably around, was it 2010 to 11? Until I never left. I never officially left House Entertainment.
So you're still in it?
Yeah, no, there isn't no such thing as House Ents, you know what I mean? But I never left. I'd never left. I was like there to the end. Even like, you know, I think was it through COVID when we was doing some stuff? But your question was.
Well, what did it do for you? You went on to say, well, it's sad that it ended. So, what was sad? For people that don't know, what does sad look like, or why did it end then?
That's another, like, egos, man. It's like there's so many of us in the team, man. You know, there was me, there was Lance, there's Aaron Verone, there's Jack and Danny, there's one stage Weighty J, Cole Steps,
Theo,
Stretch, Lewis.
Did X-Five end up in it, or did you just have the release?
X-Five, was he House Entertainment?
I know he had the release on the label. Sure he did.
I think X-Five, was he a part of it? There was so many DJs.
So what happened then for egos? Did people not know what their positions was?
There was too much, you know what I mean? And as I say in it, like when it's somebody that you relate to, yeah, as in Dudley, do you know what I mean? And when it's somebody you relate to and somebody that, you know, like you maybe start to think that they ain't got your best interests at heart. Do you know what I mean? You might be thinking that they're going off of their ego a bit too much or whatever.
Are you talking about Dudley?
But I wouldn't know. I'm just saying that maybe it could have been the problem. Like, I don't know if it was the problem, because obviously there was a lot of, as you say, like a lot of people was doing stuff out there. Like, so when somebody's trying to come in and tell you what to do or how to do certain things and how to, you know, like, and especially it's coming from somebody that looks like you, somebody that you're not looking at, you're not higher than me. Do you know what I mean? That's how people will look at things. I know for like that's obviously I'm talking about ego. Like,
but if it's the guy who's steering the ship, he should be allowed to do that though.
Yeah, but when you,
I don't know if you're talking about Dudley.
Yeah, of course.
He's the head of the
honcho,
then he should be able to call shots or try and steer the ship.
Yeah, but you got to think about it though, George. You're like, like certain people are hot at the time. You're hot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're getting bookings regardless.
Yeah.
You get me? You know, House Entertainment was doing a lot of people's bookings and stuff like that. So
it was an agency as well?
Yeah. So there was a lot of mix-up going on there too. So...
Oh, so did you have to put your bookings through House A&T?
So... See, there was obviously there was that argument. What bookings are going through it? What bookings are not going through it?
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then certain people are seeing other DJs doing it. Well, you're doing that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So you understand? And obviously, indirectly and directly, you're pissing off Dudley. So and you're kind of pissing off the team. So then you know a lot of things are going on, innit? Like. And you're not to say that you're pissing off the team directly to say that, oh, you're like the team's pissed with you. No, you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, if he done it, I'm doing it.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of things going on at the time. And
was there no contracts involved? Was it just
because
agreements?
Yeah, I'm not sure with the track wise, but with a lot of people.
It just sounds like, you know, it was an experience thing as well. Because if you had certain conversations or contracts, you know what you can and can't do.
But remember, everyone just started all those, like, you know, brethrens that, you know, like, and when you're a promoter and you bring in your kind of brethrens and stuff like that, and you bring in, like, you start to bring in people around you or whatever, and remember, you're paying them. So like they're kind of like bringing you in to be the next, because they're paying you and they're giving you more coverage. Yeah, so that, remember, you're just bussing now. Do you know what I mean? Like you one person ain't gonna bus you.
You're lucky you're not on Spray's podcast, you know, because there's been a lot of wires and pauses on there, but we're growing up.
Like, listen, I'm not a man for the wires at the moment. I just, you know, yeah.
No, but you know what?
Because do you know what it is with that as well? Let's just go into that one quickly, quickly, and I will say this on it. When they're talking about the wires and all this, come from Jamaica, this, that, the other, you're following what the next man is telling you to do. Now, the whole thing is man on man. Yeah? Right. But you're following the next man. Like, how does that even work? Do you know what I mean? You got to be yourself, be an individual, and just nip things in the bud, innit? It's like, you know, and all of these words as well are slang words for a thing. Like I said, bus. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that doesn't mean one thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you're narrowing you're narrowing your life down to certain words and certain terms. You get me? So yeah. But anyway, let's move on.
Games.
Yeah, fun and games.
Going back to what you were saying there, though, it even still happens now. And I know obviously you two don't really get on that. When Andy Mills was on my podcast, I think I brought it up to him, and he was like, I'm sure I brought it up to him. I can't remember if this was on cam or off cam, but it was like with Jada. I think she was taking bookings and he was like, but I've booked you first and you should only be playing for me on that night. So was it a thing like that with House ENT where it was like you're taking too many other bookings that are clashing with our events, or what was it that was causing problems? What was people doing that they wasn't meant to be doing, basically?
Yeah, just like obviously that, just taking bookings off the books and stuff like that, and then
so then what, no booking fees going to House ENT sort of?
Yeah, there was a So do you know what it is? Because alright, then if you make an agreement with something and you're making an agreement, but there's no stated terms, is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like people say to you, right, I would prefer if you didn't do this or you didn't do that or whatever. But when you're seeing certain things like, you got to remember, come on, Pete, everyone's hungry. Yeah, you're seeing bookings coming in. What, you're going to really start, I'm going to turn that down. You turn, because remember, 9 times out of 10, you're hot at the moment. When you turn down the booking, they're coming back with another offer. So somebody's coming to you with another offer, and you're thinking to yourself, what, I'm not going to take it because my man's phoned me, or, you know, I'm not going to tell him to go through House Entertainment, because obviously House Entertainment's going to take a little fee now, and then I might not get my little fee. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can get your whole fee when, you know, so people become, like, that's what I'm saying. People become, it's greed, it takes over, innit? It's like, you know, greed and ego, it takes over, and then bam, that's where you are, you know?
So was it the same again where people just started to leave one by one and then...
Yeah. People just started dropping like flies. Do you know what I mean? And that was a drop like flies one.
Quick,
like,
was it?
Bam, 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 bam.
You still in contact with Dudley?
Leaving. Do you know what? We lost contact for a few years. Because remember, he was involved in Foundation, wasn't he?
Okay.
Yeah. At the start of Foundation and stuff like that. He was involved. He used to do the mic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then, little as I say, mix of things happened, and obviously he departed. But we're on good terms now, man. We're cool, man. But we just kind of lost contact for a little while, but it's cool now.
So I don't want to just talk about the negatives of House ENT, like not that it's negative, but you know how it ended. So what were like the positives that it brought for your career or the experiences?
Positives was the experience. You know, doing a lot of travelling with them. We went to Ibiza and smashed it, man. Yeah, man. We went to Ibiza and smashed it, man.
So where was you in Ibiza?
We went.
What year actually?
You ask these years, man.
It's too much.
You can't expect this ADHD brain is mad.
You don't want to be forgetting stuff, man, because that's when you get old, bro. You have to dig in.
No, do you know what it is? It's just like, we've done it so many times. Like, I've done IB for so many times. Yeah. Like, it had to have been 2014 or something like that. Okay. Probably about 2014.
Yeah.
Like, so we went out there, went to, I think it was called is it called Destinos? I can't remember what it was called. It was basically jets here, and then walk along a couple of down this little strip a little bit, and then there was a bar there, and we done it in there. you know what I mean? I still got all the pictures from it, man. We drafted everybody from Jet.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yeah, because the music, what we was playing, it's going off, innit?
Of course.
So like
100%.
people was walking past thinking, what's that? There was just locals coming or joining off the beat, like people was coming, and all of a sudden we just had it packed out there. It was like people was buying drinks from the bar, it's going mad. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, we done House on the Terrace. That's 338 now.
Course,
do you know what I mean? Like we had like a couple. What else did they do? Coronet. Do you know what I mean?
I went to a couple at Warehouse.
Was it Warehouse?
North. Is it called Warehouse?
Is there any Warehouse?
In Tottenham.
That might have been Lance's rave, you know. It might have been Frequency.
I thought I went to your one.
That might have been Frequency.
I went to House and Tea up there.
I think that might have been Frequency, you know. I'm not sure if House and Tea done any really in. I'm not. They might have. Maybe a part another part that I'm forgetting, but from what I remember, it was Frequency.
Okay.
That was doing a lot of raves in there. That was Lance's rave.
So you mentioned it there as well, Foundation.
Yeah.
Wait, how's that feeling for you, doing Foundation? What's it doing for you, like? Foundation. I wouldn't say spiritually, but you know, like just for your creativity levels.
Do you know what? I needed it. I needed it, to be fair, because I hadn't lost hope in the music and stuff like that, but it just became like just a chore. You know what I mean? It just became like I kind of lost interest in the music and stuff like that. And you know, I don't know if it was maybe because a lot of what I was going through or whatever. Just like I just kind of lost interest in it. For like I needed that kind of resurgence of music, and to realise that, you know, people are still in love with this music that we play, and you know, I'm more free on the set there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm more myself. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, it's like, I kind of needed that to restore my faith in the music and in the industry and in the scene.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? Because I just got a little bit.
What's the concept behind it, for people who don't know?
It's like obviously it's just like it's the old school vibe, like what we was doing from.
Do you play new tunes as well though? Or?
Not really, no.
It's all old schools.
It's all old schools, and it's about digging deep. And it's about digging deep into that, because there's a lot of music from that era that doesn't get played and stuff like that. And it's like it strives like us to like remember we're playing back-to-back sets and stuff like that, so it can't all be repetitive and all the same. And we've all got a catalogue of music. You know what I mean? And especially from that era and that time, you know, like if you still got like me, I've got my old computer and stuff like that, so I've still got like tons of music in there and stuff like that, so I can always go back to that if I need to go back and go through it and see, right, then what have I missed? Do you know what I mean? And I always do, like every Foundation. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of got me thinking again. Do you know what I mean? Where I wasn't thinking before, I was just going and doing. Do you know what I mean? And because I believe it's easy.
And you know what your sets
I just believe it's easy, innit? So you just go and maybe, you know, that maybe it showed for a little while that that's what I was kind of doing, or that's what I was, you know, that's how I was, like I'd kind of lost, not touch with it, but I just lost interest in it. Do you know what I mean?
Just what, I've got other question on Foundation, but you know, like you had your like loyal producer that used to play like your German Brigantes, a few others as well. Did you ever come into contact with them guys like that? Because obviously you
personally,
just because you was playing their sounds like exclusively, I'd say, sort of before other DJs wasn't. So you kind of like deserve to have that relationship.
Yeah, because remember, look, that's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what it is? Like, obviously, when I used to go into the music and I used to really research the music and obviously see who he's working with and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And found German Brigante, and I was just going to his tunes, and it's just like I was listening to them, and I was like, because remember I got my headphones on. Certain times I'm going through the night, 2, 3, 4, until the light is out. Like I'm searching for tunes. So when I'm in my headphones and I'm listening to all of these, like I'm listening to it in stereo. Yeah, I'm listening to like a lot of like people listen to music in mono. Because their brains their brains are mono. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I'm listening to it in stereo always. Like I didn't realise that. Like, that's one thing about music as well. Obviously, when you know you've kind of got this little ear for music, you know, because you're listening to everything in stereo. And when I'm listening to this stuff, this German Brigante stuff, it was like bringing up all these goosebumps and being, I was like, and then I just had to get every single one of the tunes that I loved, what he made, I had to get it. So, yeah, we, as to say, meeting him, no, I never met him. Like, once I went to Audio Hall, and when he played, he kind of cleaned the room. Because it's not what, because I don't know, it's because, like, he didn't come in there. He came in with a few fresh exclusives, and when I heard them, I was like, whoa. I felt them, and I was moving. I was like, people, they don't know about this guy. Like, they don't know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Audio, that happened a couple of times at Audio Hall.
Yeah.
Like, where, let's just say the room 2 was you and a few others or whatever, or only a couple of you lot were in the main room. And then you'd have, like, the headliners on in the main room and it would clear. Or the vibe would just be dead.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like maybe the Ravens might be different now, but obviously it was our crowd in there, innit?
Yeah.
So they wasn't really feeling like the flat, deep house set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that happened a few times. I see it happen a few times. Even though there were sick bookings, the crowd's like, I don't know, even it wasn't ready or it just wasn't the right DJ, the right sound, you know what I'm saying? So how is it working with Lance and Radford?
Yeah, man, it's cool, man.
Is it easy works because you're like good pals and that?
Yeah, it's like, obviously we've all been pals for a long time, you know what I mean? And I say that is like, you know, like obviously me and Lance been in house entertainment and stuff like that. We've been on numerous holidays together, same with me and Radford and stuff like that. So you become peoples before all of that. Do you know what I mean? So we always got that respect for each other. We always got that understanding with each other. And yeah, we'll always be bros. And like we've got a rule: if 2 go against the 1, then the majority decision. Okay. And that's that. Do you get me?
Did you have a lot of split decisions in the camp then?
Yeah, of course, man. There's 3 brains.
Yeah, of course.
So we're not all wired the same.
So that's a good thing, I guess, really.
Yeah, of course, man. Because we're all gonna have our ideas as well, entrepreneurial ideas. Like it's gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? So 3 brains is always gonna be better than 1. Do you know? And if we've got an idea or whatever, like it all gets laid out and goes through all of us.
And you've got the day party at Ministry coming up, right?
Yeah, man.
That's going to be sick.
Yeah, that's
them day parties outside at Ministry.
Yeah.
Been to some sick ones.
Yeah, we're looking. Yeah, that's the one.
Let's go Crash that back in the day.
Yeah.
Crash at them day parties outside.
Yeah.
Obviously, it went into the night, but the car park parties. Oh man.
Yeah, Crash was crazy, man.
2011 and 2012.
Yeah, man. Oh. And that's what I'm saying. And obviously, Secret Sundays and all that was before that.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and they was outdoor parties and going into the indoor at night and stuff like that. So. It was great. Like I've been doing that like from '93 East, from when like Fuse first came out and stuff like that. I was going to all of these. Like I was heavily invested in these raves and stuff like that because that's where we used to hang around. You know, like from the Can't Stop Won't Stop them days and like Big Will and that. Like big respect to them guys. That they showed like when we started hanging around with them, they showed us all the parties that was going on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And that was good for your musical ear.
Yeah, it was good for all the music because I was hanging around with them before I was the DJ.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like we was just hanging around, so we was cool with each other. You know, and every rave we used to see and used to be, oh, where's this next rave? Where's that next rave? And we used to start linking up with them lot and just seeing them everywhere. And then Will just said, yeah, I'm gonna have my own rave. So that's how Can't Stop Won't Stop. Well, it was called Church first of all.
Okay.
Yeah, but because it was next to St Leonard's Church, I think it was just on Shoreditch. They had to change the name. That's where Can't Stop Won't Stop got founded. So
then let's move on to B3 events. What does that for you? What is that to you? B3 events. That's different from Foundation. That's different from House ENT. What's B3? Is it just something that's solo to you that you can create?
Do you know what it is? It's like I've tried, like I've done so much things with that brand. Do you know what I mean? It's become a brand that I have to maintain because it's me. Do you know what I mean? I've got a business partner, which everyone knows. You know what I mean? So
S.
Yeah. Right. So obviously the way we like and with any business, you know, like especially when it's a bigger business, you're never gonna be able to do it on your own. Do you know what I mean? There's never like you don't really see people do it on their own unless you're madly established or whatever. And even then, you still got help.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You got people behind the scenes. You got a team. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that brand for me is like it's like I don't know. I can't say like my child, but it's just like it's something that I need to keep maintained you know, and it's a business, yeah, and it's also something that I've built. Do you know what I mean? Over maybe 10 years or more. It's more than that, maybe 15 years, I don't know. But I've had that brand, and it's obviously I didn't have a business partner throughout the whole time of that brand. You know, so I've had that brand for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So it is like my child.
Is it that where you want it to be at?
No, it will never. No way. I was just about to say it will never be no, because as I said from the start, I always strive for more. So I always want my brand to be better. I want my brand to, you know, stand up like without like, and obviously people can't say nothing about me and my brand because I've been consistent.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like my brand, my consistency is second to none. Do you know what I mean in this game? So yeah, man. It's one of my children. Like yeah, that's what it is. And it's a business. Do you know what I mean? And I never can forget that one. It's also a business.
Of course,
Do you know what I mean?
Do you think it kind of coincided at some point once it was born with Eastside Records? Or do you think it was totally separate?
Eastside, once again, had the potential to go like absolutely bonkers as a label. Do you know what I mean? Like it was at one stage going absolutely mad. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And even then, do you know what I mean? Like the egos, everything kicked in, everything.
With who though? With who?
You know, like,
how would the ego kick in on a label? Like if you're just signing tunes.
All right. So first, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I was going over this the other day with someone, so it's kind of fresh on my memory. So first,
I'm not gonna ask you years. Don't worry.
Yeah. Right. First, basically, what's happened? There's 3 of us involved. Yeah. So there's me, Storm, and a girl called Jay, Miss J. So first of all, we're doing all of our stuff and stuff like that. What's happening? I can't remember. So basically, Storm is saying to me, he's saying, basically, this girl's doing too much, rare, this, that, the other. He's just making up like things upon things, just upsetting him. So basically, in the end, I want her out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? So he's like, I want her out. I'm like, is you sure it's a good decision? But then obviously, so she's phoning me, she's saying certain things and because them two are brethren and he's brought her in, I'm thinking, do you know what? I'm not telling her, I want him to tell her. But I'm saying to him, are you gonna tell her or what? Because you're not answering the phone to her, you're doing this, you're doing that. Yeah. Are you gonna tell her you want her out or not? Because I'm not telling, it's not my mate, it's your mate. Okay. So you tell her.
Well, he brought her to the table?
Yeah, you brought her to the table. Okay. You made her start helping us with all stuff like that. But then what have you done? You've made her sign the contract, but we've got with Label Works. So there's 3 names on it.
She's a listed name.
She's a listed name on it. Yeah. So you got to get her out. All right, what are you going to do? So basically what he's done, is forged her signature.
Oh, wow. Did she know this, yeah?
She found out, and she put the label into, I can't even remember. Let's just call it limp mode. Just for camera purposes. I don't know what the term is. Yeah. But basically we're locked off. Like we cannot release another tune. We cannot even get into the thing. Nothing like that. So
she blacklisted you?
Blacklisted. Yeah. Blacklisted us now. Yeah.
How? So just reported you?
Yeah. She said that's not my signature. This is fraud. So now we're getting investigated by the fraud squad. Jesus. I can laugh about it now. Yeah, but these times now, I'm vexed now.
Yeah, of course.
I'm vexed, but all in this time, I've seen some label popping up every minute. And it's called Catch 22. And it's got a couple of our artists on it and stuff like that. So, in the meantime of my man snaking her, he's snaking me.
Oh, he built something as well?
He's built Catch 22 Records or whatever it is. You get me? So he's snaking me now. Wow. So he's snaked me, taking all the artists, not told me about it, snaking me. So I'm thinking, oh, you're a snake. Oh, you snaked me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so these times you snaked me now. I'm right. Nah, I'm not chatting to you no more. That's me and you done. You snaked me, bro. Like, that is, like, we are finished. You get me? Like, you've just basically done that while you've made art label. I've got artists pouring out my ears, people coming and trying to, you know, send me to do this with music. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm getting disheartened now. I'm thinking, look, we've got a business that's going on that could have made, do you know what I mean? And now I'm snaked.
And did it get to the point, because you know, like Audio Rehab, for example, you get people making a sound to try and get signed on Audio Rehab. Did it get to that point with Eastside where people were making that sound, sending you tracks?
It was already there, man. It was already there.
You had a consistent sound, didn't you?
Remember, we had big tracks, you know,
you did,
you know what I mean? We had big tracks on and on from Archie B. We had Sorry's Not Enough. We had Effing Cockneys. We had rhythms, like, and they were big rhythms that was getting played everywhere. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that's what I'm saying, the caliber. Look, even in Eastside, there was so much egos and stuff like that within such a small camp. Artists, they're getting mad egos and stuff like that. It was like,
where would the ego come in? They demand a bit more of a better deal with you?
No, it was just like everyone was like, it was just so stupid, man. It was just, just can't even, like, you can't even imagine. Like, there was free, like basically, look, with A2H, there was 3 DJs. There was, 3 people in ATH. Yeah?
Always wondered who that was.
Yeah, there was 3. So there was a guy called Lee, a guy called Kevin, and a guy called Merrick, right? So basically, Merrick was a musical genius, yeah? This guy, he was so serious, man. He made everything, but he was very, his music was clean. Everything was, it was, that's all I can say, bruv. Like, Merrick was the guy, yeah? So Lee, Kevin, great as well. Lee, great, you get me? But Merrick was the man, yeah? So basically, what's happened now is Merrick's got loads of music he wants to get rid of. Yeah, he's got loads of music. So when I've come along now and said, right, I've got the label, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. They've got tunes as 3 of them. You know what I mean? Merrick's got his own. So Merrick's come to me and said to me, look, I want to release on the label, I want to release under Creative Mind. You get me? Yeah? Right? So that's what I want to release under. This is where we're at. A2H now, I said, well, if you're releasing under that, you've got to put Creative Mind A2H. But he's saying, nah.
What, on the other tracks that are already out?
On the tracks that he's putting out himself.
Yeah.
They're saying, I want you to put, so look how silly that is.
Yeah, proper.
Do you know what I mean? And these lot fell out over that, you know? Yeah. Like, imagine that, like, such a wicked combination they had that was making these tunes. That was, it was going straight to the top. I was saying to these guys, come out. Listen to what you lot are doing on the sets. Come out. No one was coming out.
It was all going through you though, wasn't it? Like,
no one was coming out. No one was coming out.
But I mean, like, A2H wasn't. No one else was.
No, they were my boys.
No one else was exclusive to them or playing their tune. It was all coming out of you and your label, innit?
Yeah. Coming from me because they were my boys. Yeah. Like, they were like people that I've known for years.
Oh, is it?
You know what I mean? Well, obviously Lee and what's his name, Kevin, known them for years. Do you know what I mean? So, Lee, I used to go to school with his brothers and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And Kevin, known his family. You know what I mean? So it's like, these are people that are known for years. So it's just a sad thing to happen. It's like, look at all the ones that we've been explaining as we've been going along. Do you know what I mean? All of these fallouts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, seems to be a reoccurring pattern, man.
Reoccurring pattern, bro. I don't understand it myself, but, you know?
So, does that mean Eastside Records could never resurface then, legally?
No. Basically, right, so, I stopped with that story there, didn't I? And so basically, what's happened now is I've told Miss J, I've said to Miss J, look, there's nothing to do with me. Look what my man's done. You get me? Look, there's another, this, that, the other, whatever. So then I've said to him, look, I've basically explained to her, look what he's done to me, look. I'm not chatting to him no more. This is done. Like, me and him are done, whatever. I'm saying, look, can you please, I need this label back on track, innit? Can you please just tell them you don't want nothing to do with the label. This is what the guy, whatever done, and you're relinquished. You're just saying you don't want, and just let me have my label by myself and do what I'm doing. And if he wants to fight me for the label, let him fight me for the label. But Me and him ain't chatting and this, that, the other. And I finally coerced her into doing it, and she's done it, and she gave me back the label. So I have the label now.
Okay.
I still have the label, yeah.
And?
But yeah, do you know what? Me and Tyler Sanchez was running it for a little while. Remember, as I said, with myself, I need a bit of help with certain things sometimes. Yeah. So me and him was doing that, and then, yeah, things went sour over there. Do you know what I mean? Because of other people, and, do you know, like a lot of things was going on at the time. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, your mate was giving him problems and...
What one?
You know what I mean?
Mills?
Nah, the other one.
Oh, Johnny Rotten?
Yeah. He's giving him problems.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, like, yeah, me and him just departed ways for a little while. So, yeah, man.
So, how soon was this before Storm got put away? Was it shortly before, after? I mean...
This was like a good few months before he got put away.
So I don't want to talk about what Storm's done, yeah?
Yeah.
Don't need to go into detail what he's done, it's not really about him, but what effects did that have on you?
That was crazy. That was crazy
saga.
Because, you know what, I'm not even chatting to the guy because of what's all happened.
Yeah, of course.
Me and him ain't chatting, no whatever, yeah? Basically, he's got a girlfriend at the time, yeah? And believe it or not, this girl that he's got, like, I first introduced him to this girl. Do you know what I mean? So she was always feel kind of drawn to me, and to chat to me and stuff like that. So when she's told me certain things, I was like, what?
Yeah, of course.
She's like, no, but I don't believe, whatever. So I'm like, do you know what? I'm as far away from that guy as possible. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, don't try and drag me down any, like, I don't care. Whatever's going on with him now is going on with him. That's between you and him. That was my stance on it, because she snakes me also, because she's the one who's doing the funding for the label, everything for the label, that sneaky label, it was her doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, so, but I was talking to her all around the time because I didn't know that. And not until he went jail, she revealed. Do you get me? Oh, it was me behind the label, it was me, and she's getting all, like, they was getting people to kind of hate on me, and, you know, there's certain people and stuff like that. So it was like, people would think, oh, I was paranoid, it was all in my mind. It wasn't all in my mind. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it kind of like, and you know, for people to try and draw me back into that situation and drag me down with it, it was crazy, but it was like, you know what, this is what everybody wanted anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people wanted anyway. Do you know what I mean? To drag your name through the dirt for some rubbish, do you know what I mean? Or some crap, you know? If it wasn't things from your past life, or, you know, things that you say and do on the scene, you know, and then it's, you know, something that somebody else has done. You know what I mean? Like, and they try and, like, yeah, drag you down with that sort of, yeah, them sort of, I don't even know. Like, I don't.
But how did it affect you though? Like, as in, obviously, knowing that you had been a business partner, did you feel a weight on your shoulders when all this shit came out, and then probably people not guilty by association, but if you're in the same room as someone, well, why didn't you say nothing? Blah, 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 all that shit, you know, people start throwing accusations at you, saying, "How did you not see it?"
Yeah, but do you know what it is? For one, all of these things, what was said, they happen at times where it was him and a person which is the evidence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no one else was what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
No one else was there.
Of course.
Do you know? So it's not. So I don't need to speak up for that.
Yeah.
No one else was there, innit? It's only him and whoever else was there. You know? So that's why I had to say to myself, you know, like, how can people tar somebody with that brush? If it's like, all right then, you know, you're hanging around with a thief, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And this guy, so then something goes missing from your house, and that person was in your house, then you can say, do you know what, I suspect you might be a thief too. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you're not in the same house,
same
as I say, in the same accusations, how's it going for you? You know, you've never had any kind of mad accusations about you throughout your life. Do you know what I mean? So why would anybody want to, people should more look at you and say, rah, man, either you're a bad judge of character, or feel sorry for you in a way where to say, oh man, how did that happen to you? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's it. You know, that's the only things that people should be saying to you, or, do you know what I mean? We live in a cold world where people are fickle and people like to make people the butt of jokes and they like to, do you know what I mean? Say, you know, like he's done this or he must have been doing this too, and do you know what I mean?
But what about though? Like let's stop saying like, people they wanted this, they wanted that, people that said it. But how did you feel though? Like, did you feel like you needed to take a step back for a bit, or did you just carry on as normal?
No,
what effect did it have on you personally?
No, obviously, listen.
Because obviously you and Radford must have had calls thinking, fucking hell, like we've got our tunes out with each other, or EPs and.
Yeah, of course. And do you know what? I didn't allow it to affect me, but it did affect me. It affected me in a massive way, man. We got a signing with we got signed a tune to Defected and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll touch upon that. Yeah,
I'd met Simon Dunmore personally and stuff like that. So, like, we had like a contract with them. Do you know what I mean? Like we had like a massive contract. Like it was like pages, and there was things that we was meant to be doing.
Oh shit.
Do you know, like he was saying basically, like there's basically like in the contract it's basically saying, right, you're liable to do a radio show here, you're able to do an interview there. Not saying specific price, but it's telling you when we're calling you for these things, you've got to do them. This is all in that contract that you're signing. So when all of these things are coming across, you have to do them. Otherwise, you're breaching your contract basically.
But they were big moves, right?
Yeah, of course, of course. So it was just letting you know step by step what you have to do. Do you know what I mean? So
was this all quite close in time, and then the Defected release, and obviously what happened with him?
Yeah. It was all pretty close, man. All pretty close around the times. Do you know what I mean?
Because I did want to talk about the Defected, and I did. One of my questions was, did you think you make the most of it? But then now you're saying this, you probably had your hands tied.
How? I had my hands tied.
Yeah, I didn't know this side of it.
It's like somebody else is now. Do you know what I mean? Like I chose the path of the righteous. Yeah. So I went and told and said, my man's in jail. Because what else am I gonna do, bro?
And what was that for?
Like, I had a meeting there.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? I had a meeting there. I had to finish off the tune. I had to sit in the office, in Dunmore's office, finishing off the tune. Do you know what I mean? Putting a different bass line in it. Do you know? It's me and Danelle, we were sitting there. Maybe I've told this story before. But, like, I've had to now say, my man's in prison.
And did you have to say what charges?
No. I had to say my man's in prison. That's it.
To keep it like that.
They probably done their own shit. You signed the contract. Remember your name's on the contract.
Name and address,
So it's like they probably done their own investigations or whatever. Remember they're high up people.
Of course.
I don't say what links that they got lawyers. They got links with police. They got links with all sorts of shit. You got. That's what I'm saying. That's their job to do that. So when no contact came after that, I knew.
Oh, was that it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Ended. Done. Contact was finished. Minimal.
So what, the tune got released?
Tune still got released.
Because you signed the contract?
Yeah, tune still got released. It still got released.
So then was there like not really a promo campaign for it?
No promo campaign for it, nothing. Come on, man.
I mean, on their behalf, they have to do that.
Come on, bro.
They had to.
Like, listen, nothing.
And how do you feel about that? Like, that would have changed.
Disheartened because
not change everything because you was in a good place. What do you
mean? It would have changed it because you know what Simon said. Yeah, he said we're gonna have a very long and fruitful relationship, or we're gonna have a very short one.
And that's before
you guys. He stood in front of both of us. He stood in front of both of us. We were standing in front of him, looking at him like that, school teacher.
Because they are loyal to their artists, aren't they?
And you know what it was? Like, we got to meet him personally and chat with him personally.
Build a rapport and that.
Do you know what I mean? Built like a little rapport. Do you know what I mean? So to have that, do you know what I mean? Because, you know, like, we could have been making like we got direct contact now, right? He might have wanted to see what we've been doing lately or whatever, because you've spoken to two guys. You're not just going to forget them like, because you don't just meet, like, people sign tunes and you don't go and meet and meet the big head honcho, the boss.
It's true, very true.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, it was like another stray bullet from like another one.
Yeah, so that was...
It's just like, there's just so many, like, do you know what I mean? It's like there's been people trying to take me down all my career.
But that one's mad though, because when I think of Storm, and I think all that shit happened, and I think what it done for you. You don't deep. You just think you might get tarnished with the same brush, or people might just not look at you the same. But you don't think your actual whole career was about to go in a whole different direction, and that was taken away from you.
We had the tools, but you know what? It wouldn't happen.
Label.
Yeah, but it wouldn't happen without him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I hear it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear it. Yeah, true.
It wouldn't happen without him.
True.
So we always got to remember that, you know. So it wasn't destined to be.
So how do you look back at that time now then? Or when you have thought about it, how do you look back? You just think, all right, cool, it was an experience, we managed to get through the door, or do you think, what if?
It happened.
Is it half full or half empty?
Half empty, because obviously you always got to think about what if. So yeah, you always got to think about what if, man. And yeah, man, it was just something that was just destined not to happen, because you know why? Do you know why? And the way I look at it now is that in the future, imagine we did make it, and we was these hot superstars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like in this thing now. He would have done something way more bigger than, like, do you know what I mean? Or you can't get something big like that.
If it's in, man, it's in, man. Yeah, of course.
He would have done something and you know, it would have probably affected in a way more different way. Remember, we're underground at the time and stuff like that. Of course, so you know what I mean? Like these things that. Right. Yeah, so he would have done something in a bigger capacity.
So, in terms of bounce back from that, did you feel like you took a step back for a bit, or did you just carry on as normal, in your career?
People stopped booking me, man. Let's have it right. People stopped booking me, like, and that's just like crazy in itself. And I know that
as a promoter, do you understand or not? If you put your promoter cap on.
Well, I'm putting my promoter cap on. I'm not going to blame somebody else for what somebody's done in it. Like, I would never look at it like just because you made tunes with a person and you sat down with a person and you made tunes with them, that you know you participated or you allowed anything to go on. Do you know what I mean? Like you enabled something. You didn't enable anything. You don't even know what was going on. You didn't even know. You're none the wiser when you first hear about these sorts of stuff. Yours is exactly the same as everybody else. You're like, fucking hell, I knew he was dodgy, but not like that.
Yeah, it's different levels. But then, but I think brand, they have to protect themselves, innit?
Yeah, of course.
In a way.
Of course. But, like, wait a minute. So I feel to myself, like, how am I, like, looking at somebody else and saying, do you know what I mean? Like my booking's a lot slowed down. I don't know if Radford's booking slowed down. I wouldn't have thought so. Do you know what I mean? And do you know, like, there was other people that was associated with him. You know what I mean? Other people that made tunes with him and stuff like that. So how comes all of these guys didn't get affected by that? How comes it's just me?
No, cool. So I've made this joke with someone before, but it's not really a joke. Do you think it's acceptable for Storm's tunes to be played in raves? I made the joke before, but I think I was coming on after Lance or something, or before Lance, and I said, "Is it alright to?" Do you think it's okay to play his tunes, or is that
Well,
low frequency?
The Bretton's, the bread is dead.
He's dead?
He's dead.
I swear.
He's dead.
What, Pot killed himself?
No, he's dead.
When would that happen?
I can't remember, man.
I keep asking you for years.
Yeah, years, like
can't
a
ask
few years ago though.
Shit. That's mad.
Gross negligence in the jail.
I swear.
Yeah, gross negligence in the jail, man. Something happened. It's a story about it in the paper. So yeah, like that's something for you to have a little look at later on. You know what I mean?
Part 2 now.
But yeah, there was gross negligence or something like that, and yeah, he's dead, man.
How did you feel when you found out?
What's that?
That he's been killed. You must have felt.
He's been killed. No, he's just died.
So he died.
Go. Right. Yeah. All right. I wouldn't say. I just say that he's passed away.
When he passed away, How did that make you feel? You must have had some serious mixed emotions.
Mixed emotions, man.
Because obviously, regardless of what someone's done or been through, if you've built up a relationship with someone, you've had good times with someone.
Yeah, but remember,
regardless.
I wasn't chatting to him at the time of all of that, him going prison and stuff like that.
So
I wasn't chatting to him, so we'd already kind of parted ways, kind of thing. So when all he's through his jail and stuff like that, I hadn't spoken to him or nothing like that. I didn't, you know, when he was in there and stuff like that, I was just hearing stuff what his ex-girlfriend was saying and stuff like that. And because she was still in contact with him. So I was hearing stuff little through, but she wasn't saying certain stuff to me because she didn't want me to know certain things. You're still kind of like hiding. And the way kind of like, so I wasn't really talking. So, you know, when you've disconnected with somebody, it's like you don't kind of know how to feel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You kind of don't know how to feel. Do you know, like, you know, I just felt like, what a waste.
Yeah.
Do you know, what a waste, man. And you done it to yourself, really. Like, I can't sit here and feel remorse for you because you're now dead. Because I've got to realise what I've got to recognise what you've put me through now, and I can't sit there thinking, you know, like being proper saddened by your death because you kind of done it to yourself. You did do it to yourself. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, I felt sorry. I did feel sorry because I've got a heart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're human.
But yeah, man, like, you know, like as people say, you know, you could do anything out here, yeah, but you might not deserve to die, innit? And that's what I put it down to, innit? Like, you know, as much as he done whatever he done, he doesn't deserve to be dead, you know? So I did feel sad about that.
Of course.
You know, like he was dead and like, you know, like, and it was via like gross negligence and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? So, you know, like he had a sentence to ride, you know, life, do 12 years to be exact. So, you know, some people, you know, you get them sentences and you come out, you maybe have a second chance and at life and try and, you know, make it again and know where you went wrong on it and see where your mistakes was made.
Yeah, man.
You know, so yeah.
I've still got a couple music questions, but I just feel like this leads better into this part now. I just feel like, have you ever done therapy for these sort of things? I know on one of your podcasts, on one of them episodes on I Love Sesh Brother, you didn't believe in therapy.
Do you know what? Alright, cool. I'll have to second it again here now, yeah? Like, the therapy things, like, alright then, I do believe that it could help people, therapy, but I want, like, I did a few therapy sessions since then.
Since you said it, or since?
Yeah. Okay, I did a few therapy sessions since then. And it wasn't really for me because I think that I can far more identify and diagnose what's wrong with me, than somebody else can, by me telling them. If I tell myself enough, I'll work it out. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, I just think that a lot of people may rely on other people to get them straight or get them to do what they want. And I believe that, you know, everything that I've been told, everything that I believe in, do you know what I mean, spiritually as well, do you know what I mean? And every book will tell you everything is within you, do you know what I mean? So if you really truly believe that, you have to look for yourself for answers. And a lot of people do it in a lot of ways. People go ayahuasca, you know, people take mushrooms, people take the toad, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But do you not feel like therapy is one of those avenues?
What do you mean?
Because you're choosing to open up that side of things, to unpack things. So like you said,
so then, but who you having
like
therapy? Yeah, but who you having it with? You're having a word with yourself, ain't you?
Yeah, technically, yeah, because that's what a therapist doesn't tell you, innit? They just help you unpack. They don't tell you, right, this is the day. They will get you to realise things yourself, or to keep talking, and then you have like a light bulb moment, innit?
Yeah.
So
But you
to
can
me,
get that within yourself.
Yeah, but to me, that is an avenue. You know, like you're saying, it's within. Going to therapy, personally, I think is you're tapping into yourself, but you're just getting steered, directed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you're not like going to therapy and saying, okay, cool, give me the answers, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
But you go in there, you say, okay, this has happened, that's happened. Then they might just steer you towards you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not totally just telling you.
You know what it is? I see it as in that way that a lot of people look for a cop out, and that's one of them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just believe that a lot of people look for a cop out, and it's always gonna like they're always gonna, I need therapy, I need this, and like look how disillusioned like the younger generation are now. Everyone's fucking doing therapy and everyone's doing this, everyone's doing that. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's looking for that. Do you know what I mean?
But isn't that a good thing if someone's got trauma or had a shit life or whatever? Isn't it good they're trying to?
Why is it so rife now? Why
because
is it so crazy?
It's more what's it called, accessible, and it's more spoke about. Whereas 20 years ago,
listen,
30 years ago,
I went therapy. Please, bro, I've been living that life from when I was like a small kid.
Yeah.
I was going to psychiatrists and all of that, therapy and all of that.
But
like,
cool.
Crazy, like mad.
You're only,
like,
you are a bit older than me, but let's just say our dad's generation.
Yeah.
They wasn't allowed to.
Yeah.
Or you're not a man. If you're talking about your feelings, now man up.
Yeah.
Whereas now we talk about our feelings, we look within ourselves. That's why now it's more rife.
Yeah.
Because we talk about it. We didn't talk about it. And you wasn't allowed. You go to work, bring the bread home, don't talk about your feelings. You're not allowed to be depressed.
I understand that. I do understand that. But you know what it is? It's in this generation, the younger generation, it is rife.
And you think that's a bad thing?
It's like every kid has a problem now. Do you know what I mean?
Elaborate a little bit. What do you mean?
It's like every single kid has ADHD, autism, depression.
Yeah, of course. The spectrum's
psychosis.
Getting big.
This, it's like, trust me. It's like it's a lot now. Do you know what I mean? And it's like that. It only listen. If that's the way that a lot of people are moving, it's only gonna go down into generations. Do you know? Like, so now, as I say, a lot of the younger generation and that, they're doing all of this and they're doing all of that and they're doing all of this and stuff like that. Everybody needs therapy, everyone needs this, everyone needs that. So it's just gonna go down in generations because it's gonna be a learned behaviour.
What?
Yeah?
What about, I get it, you are right. But at the same time, if you manage to break the cycle by doing certain things, because you got to think.
I just think that if you're doing it, your kids are gonna do it.
But at the same time, if say we carry up, we usually inherit our parents' trauma, like what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
So because they didn't deal with it and because their parents didn't deal with it, it is going down. But if we're trying to deal with it, that gives us a better chance of breaking it.
Yeah, but
surely.
do you know what I see? Alright, then do you know why I say it? Yeah, because I see some people, some kids, some people that are grown up in nice families, nice people, whatever, and they still got they got trauma.
Yeah,
Where's it come from? What's happening
I
here,
know.
bro?
On
What
paper,
is happening?
But at the same time, you do not know what's going on behind closed doors. So someone who looks like a good family, that child might be hiding some mad secrets, what he's seeing one of his parents do, or, do you know? We don't know what's going on, innit, for that. I'm not making excuses, but I'm just saying, the way I look at things, I play devil's advocate a lot. Yeah. But the way I look at things is that I don't think you can what do you say, that we're doing it too much? I don't think you can do it too much, but obviously I do think like there's an over-diagnosis of ADHD at the moment. But in terms of therapy or trying to heal, I don't think you can do it too much, personally. Personally.
There's a lot of depression out here. Yeah. There's a lot of depression. And I just think that this is what the world is. It's a depressing state, like what we live in. If you watch the news and stuff like that, every day it will tell you. I don't watch the news. I haven't watched it since, I don't even know. Maybe COVID was my last straw of watching the news. I couldn't watch it no more. Too much. That was it. Like I stopped watching it from before, but then you go in and out and stuff like that. Now I don't watch TV. I just watch what I want to watch.
So do we not think that social media has also played a big part in depression? Because you're seeing what people show you. Because they're trying to show you what you're meant to look like. How you're meant to be. And if you're not like it, then you're falling short.
If you're a girl, you got to have enhancements, you got to have this, or if you want to fit into a certain world, you got to look like this. If you're a man, you got to have a money, you got to have a car, you got to have a watch, you got to have this, you know what I mean? So it's like, it does play a part into it, but that's if you fall into that. If you fall into that.
Some of these kids are born into it. There's a certain generation, you're born into that.
Yeah, but come on, man. Like, you know, that's why they say you got your own mind. Yeah, use it. Do you know what I mean? Like, use your body as well. It's not only the mind. That's like your body's telling you stuff as well. Do you know, like if somebody creeps up behind you, you feel it in your body, don't you? Sometimes, you understand? How did your brain tell you that? No, it didn't.
Course,
your body told you.
Yeah,
so that's something. Just why you got to be in touch. You got to be feeling like from your body, your brain, and everything. You got to be in touch with things. And if you're in touch with certain things, then you know you learn how to elevate from certain things. So it's not going to say that you're not going to get depressed. You're not going to be.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? But some people like this is the be-all in the end. I'm depressed. Therapy. I'm depressed, I need psychiatry. I'm depressed, I need pills.
Yeah, I feel like if you're just using it as an excuse, then it's totally different.
It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse.
Some people,
it overwhelms you so much that this is the only avenue that you feel that you need to go to or you can go to.
Yeah, I feel like you've got a negative outlook on therapy though.
Not negative like that, no. I just believe that,
it's all about also
I believe
other
it's
factors.
an individual.
But timing is one. I've tried 3 different times and only the last time it worked for me.
Yeah.
Timing, the person who's sitting opposite you.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that.
And you, where you're at in life as well. You might not be ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might not be ready. You might be talking about the wrong things, focus on the wrong things, or just not at a time where you're ready to take accountability, things like that. These are all factors. But yeah, and again, it doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to have all different avenues.
Individuals, man.
Have you gone down like the psychedelic route?
Yeah, of course.
Of healing and stuff?
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Experiences, innit? Experiences, man. Like, yeah.
I used to take mad psychedelics in like Coronet and that.
Yeah.
When you lot was playing, I'd be like fucking levitating and off the floor in Coronet.
No way.
Saying, I know about life.
No
all this.
way, man. I've done Cambo, I've done the Toad.
Yeah. How was that?
All sorts. Mushrooms. Mate, do you know what?
Where was it? Where'd you do the Toad?
I've done like little ceremonies, but I did it like where I used to live in Old Street. But a guy come round and done a proper ceremony. There's a few of us there. I won't mention any names, but yeah, man, done the Toad, man. And do you know what? Like the first thing when I came out of it, because I fought it a little bit, but I said I've been there before. Somebody just like in my mind said I've been there before. And then all of a sudden I started thinking, and then yeah, man, I just started crying.
I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened.
Wow.
This guy's done us.
Yeah, he's trying it. But also, you've done. You spoke about sound baths and things like that. You still do things like that?
Yeah, no, not really.
Why?
No.
What made you fall out of love with that then? Because last time on the last podcast, you was an advocate for it. So why not?
No, I haven't fallen out of love with it. No,
Okay.
Don't say that. It's just like, let's just say the people I was around at the time, they're heavily involved in that, doing a lot of that sort of stuff. And,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And now I'm not. You know, like I've had to find myself within myself a lot. Do you know what I mean? So it's made me not like. It's like I haven't done it. Like I do miss it. Do you know what I mean? But it's just one of them sacrifices, isn't it? That I felt like I had to make in that way. Like not to say that, but I don't trust everybody with my. So when I got to a level of trust with my body and my, you know what I mean? My brain and my rewiring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you have to trust people with your energy. Do you know what I mean? So.
Of course.
Yeah, because I got to a level of trust with my energy and stuff like that. I'm kind of not prepared to give it away now to anybody else, kind of like that, because you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Got people doing Reiki on you and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like you're vulnerable.
Yeah,
it's not the play with these things here.
True.
Do you know what I mean? And
I ain't
letting
looked at
anybody
that
come
before.
and touch you and deal with you in that way. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, I haven't had it done. Like, do miss it, and yeah, man, if I can find an avenue of getting it done and stuff like that, I will.
Yeah, it's interesting out there.
Yeah.
I feel like, because when you're new to something, you're just like all in. And I feel the more you realise or learn about it, then you actually, you learn a bit more if you actually take a step back and stuff.
Yeah, no, not to say that I took a step back, man. It's just like, obviously, as I said, all the people that I was around,
Yeah.
a lot of them was doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And now I'm not around no more. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So,
interesting. Let me just let me quickly go back one step into the music. What's the difference between Lee B3 Edwards and Leroy? When you see them on a flyer, what's the difference?
There's no difference between Lee Edwards and Lee Beefrey Edwards.
Okay.
So get that one straight. It was just it's just a phase at a time where, you know, I felt like I had to fit in, so I changed my name when I dropped the B3 and stuff like that, and you know, I changed it to Lee Edwards. So some people still see it as Lee Edwards. I just put Lee Beefrey Edwards on the flyers now. Leroy is when you're gonna hear me. That's me, my free self. That's me playing just what I want to play at that time, and just
how do you negotiate, or how does a promoter get Leroy then, or how do you sell Leroy to a promoter, because he's obviously not as known, is he?
I don't.
So how does that come about?
That's the catch. I don't. You know what I mean? If you like what I'm doing in that sense, you know, like, yeah, then I'm sure, like, you know, you'll book me, you know, under that name. But yeah, it's like,
is that more of a newer thing?
It's just like it's not like an alter ego. That's me. I am him. Do you know what I mean? That is actually me. That's actually my name. So yeah, man, that's me. Lee Edwards is the alter ego.
Okay.
Lee B3 is an alter ego. You know, like, that's what it is, and that's why, you know, when I was living in the shadow of that guy, I wasn't really too happy. It's not me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why am I living in the shadow of something that I've created? You know what I mean?
No,
it's a bit weird, isn't it? Like,
of course.
So yeah, man. Like, now I've just learnt now it's a part of me, innit? You know, so it's a part of me which is my alter ego, but it is me because I created it. So yeah.
You've got 2 sons on the scene now, J3, P3.
Yeah.
Did you teach them how to DJ?
No, as it goes, no.
You're not gonna pass them skills on to them?
Listen, the only son I taught how to DJ was Hayes. He's a big producer now. Yeah, so like, he does his thing. But yeah, them two, they just came out there. Like, first of all, they was like going raving. I was seeing him in because I was getting booked for you know, Shower Man. He does his little rave now. You know what I mean? So I was getting booked for him. They was coming out and stuff like that because that's their mate and stuff like that. Yeah, that's their mate. So, and then all of a sudden now, they just started DJing, and I was like, wow, do you know what I mean? Great. You know, it's for the culture, man. And yeah, man, I'm just like, now I'm just thinking to myself, how are we gonna work this now? How are we gonna capitalize? What are we gonna do with this? Do you know what I mean?
You're gonna help them in any sort of way?
Yeah, I help them. Listen, whatever help, like I've said to them both, any help you need, come to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, P3 always come to me. You get me asking me this, getting him known with producers and stuff like that. Getting him like J3 is not as vocal with it. You get me? But he'll get there.
One's the tall one.
Huh?
Who's the tall one?
P3.
Yeah.
So
nice boy, man.
Yeah. So he's right now. He's got a lot of passion and energy towards it, which is lovely. It's like I see myself in him a lot with the music and stuff, where he's hungry. Do you know what I mean? He wants it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, like he's like I believe, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're both doing their thing, so they both should be able to get there. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's not always both that's gonna have the same hunger and the same desire and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But I believe that they're gelling well and they're doing their thing. So yeah, man, I can't ask for more, man. They followed in my footsteps as well. So it makes me proud, man.
Naturally as well, without you even steering them.
Yeah, naturally, man. Like, naturally, it's not like they just like, the only thing that it is like, yeah, I'm Lee B3 Edwards, they're P3 and J3 Edwards. So it's like, you know, they're doing their thing. They ain't come and, you know, say, oh, Dad, like, they're red. So now I want to naturally help them in their journey and, you know, do what I've got to do. You know what I mean?
Quick one. Do you regret taking that £1,000 off Johnny Rotten? Is it 1,000?
Wasn't it £2,000?
Is it 2? Then it was worth it, right?
All right, listen. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna just put it in like this and try and cut this one short, right?
Go on.
Right. So, in the life, where I come from, right? I've come from being in a life where I was on the streets, That's how I grew up, innit? I had no way of, like, I got teachers, everybody telling me I'm about a guy I'll never make it. I was like, you know, certain family members as well, you know, you never, like, you're just a bad boy, you're gonna go to jail, this, that, the other. And I did, you know, so everybody was right, yeah? So I thought to myself, okay, this is me, and this is me as a person. So when I came out of, like I left school and stuff like that, you know, I became a road man, as you want to call it. You know, a thief, whatever I could do to make money. You know? So when you come from that sort of lifestyle, and then you get into a lifestyle now with DJing, and the facts of the matter was somebody's come to you, and said to you, okay, I want to play in your raves. I'll even do warm-up set. I want to pay you this amount of money. I'm thinking, are you joking? Like, are you joking? But then when I really thought about it, I thought, do you know what? For real, you know, people have got ghost producers. People have got all of these sorts of stuff happening. This guy's just investing in himself.
That's what it is. He's investing.
So where he's invested in himself, I'm thinking, do you know what? I might have got the bag, but you're investing in yourself. So where I'm coming from a life of that to where now I'm on the next way of making money, but this way is legal. Do you know, like, who's not going to take whatever somebody's coming to give to you?
I agree.
So because things didn't go his way, and he done certain things that blacklisted him from the scene, because it wasn't just, he was speaking to everybody. And everybody was saying, do you know what, we can't mess about with you right now. We can't touch you right now because you're hot and you've done certain things. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, like, we can't really touch you at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So what? So because you've now given me money, you're expecting me now to say, okay, I'm going to endorse you. Do you know what I mean? Because you've given me something. Do you know what I mean? No, you're going to have to wait until your name goes dry. You get me? Nobody's thinking about you no more. Then you can come back on the scene and you can be a part of it and you can do what you're doing. But for now, you're going to have to sit back and rest. Do you get me? Because you've done certain things which you've blacklisted yourself. So, you know, without saying too much, you know, he can go and lie about it all day, but it's on YouTube, you can clearly see it, and there's nothing more to be said, do you know? So, because things didn't go your way now, he even says it in your podcast. He's thinking about all of these things, and I just thought, right, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that to get back my money. Do you know what I mean? So, you've gone and done that, and congratulations. You say you built your career off me. Your Clash, what you put on YouTube, got 3.5K views in 4 years. I only checked that because I was coming on your podcast and I knew you'd ask me something. So if that's your claim to fame, then glad on ya. No, you know what I mean? And that's all I can say. Do you know what I mean? And for your question, I've done it. And if someone came to me the same deal again, I'd do it again.
Of course.
Why not? Why not? You got ghost producers that don't even make this track. They're fooling you and telling you they made the track. They're putting it out. This is my track. This is my track.
No, I need to get on AR because he's telling me he's a ghost producer for quite a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
But he won't tell me who yet. Oh yeah. He got AR.
Oh, I wouldn't know, bruv.
No, I'm not trying to get out. I'm just saying AR.
He's been making music for a lot of years, bro.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't say that he's lying. No. I know that he's 100% the truth.
No, yeah, I know.
But look, you can't even say these people's names. Like, that's how embarrassing it is for me to look at it like that. You're embarrassed, obviously. Otherwise, you just say, I'll get a ghost producer.
Yeah,
why not?
Of course.
Do you know?
Yeah, man. Right, I did message you just before and say, is there any subjects you want to cover? So we quickly touch upon them. So you said you wanted to talk about environment. Elaborate.
I'm just saying, like, the environment that you're in, the environment that you allow yourself to be in, the people that you allowed yourself to be around, the things that you take in on the TV, on the news, on the this, your environment. So that's kind of like, that's just one thing that, as you said, I want to touch on, and I've touched on it. You know, like, these are the things that you have to be in control of yourself and what you strive to be and what you need to be, and for you to be all comfortable and, you know, feel and be yourself. Environment.
Yeah. Good words. Trauma.
Trauma, man. A lot of, yeah, man. And listen, we all carry trauma and we all hold trauma, you know? And we all, like, as you said earlier, carry the trauma from our parents and stuff like that. Like, I had trauma from young, you know, people telling me, you know, as I said, I'm not gonna be this, I'm gonna whatever, you know, and that traumatized me into my older life. You know, people used to talk about when I'm in raves and that I was unapproachable and stuff like that. They used to say I used to walk around with my face all like this and all like that. It's because of trauma, you know, because I'm just used to being. So when people was coming up to me and they were saying to me, "Oh, be free! Oh my God, you're so bad! You're the bad! Like, I didn't know how to take it. I was like, all right, yeah, cool, like, yeah, all right, yeah. I was like, oh, like people praising you. You don't know, so because you're carrying so much trauma, you don't know how to take praises well. You don't know how to be, you know, so
I relate to that still.
Yeah, so that for me is like I just try to just like be free of trauma, man. Just don't try and carry too much trauma. Every day is another day and live in the present moment. You know what I mean? You might not be here tomorrow, so all that trauma you was thinking about from last week and the week before, the months or the years before, it doesn't matter now because you're dead. You know what I mean? Just like Tyson said. Yeah, what's legacy? When you're dead. You get me? You're dead.
True.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, live in the present moment, man, and don't worry, don't think too much about trauma or allow yourself to be traumatized.
Don't let it control you, innit?
Yeah, don't let it control you, man.
Real and fake?
Yeah, man, well, real and fake, man. Yeah, man, there's just some things, as I say, innit, some things are real, some things are fake, innit? So you gotta distinguish what it is, innit? And another thing, just being consumed, innit, by realism and fakeness. And we talked about it, the internet, social media, what it's showing you, what you have to be, who you have to be, what you have to look like as a man, what you have to look like as a woman, and, you know, feeding you narratives that are just dumbing you down, really, because it's not real. Because, you know what I mean, and all of these people that praise you on social media and all that, it's not real. Do you know what I mean? All of these likes, people living for likes and stuff like that. It's not real. It's all fake. You know, like, and until you work that out, you know, like, like you're gonna have a tough time in life. So yeah, man, I just like, like, these are things that maybe that I came to help me come to a realization of who I am and what I want out of life and where I want to go and who I want to be. Yeah, you know?
of course.
Yeah.
ADHD.
Yeah, man, it's a tough one to deal with. Very tough one to deal with, man. You know, and having it from a very young age, well, being born with it.
Yeah. Although you do know it can be brought on from trauma.
No, because they said I had it when I was a kid.
Okay.
They said I had it when I was a kid, but I didn't know this, innit? Because
but
they
more
told.
Of what you just said though, when you said you was born with it.
Yeah.
Some people trauma triggers ADHD, innit? It's in there.
Yeah.
But it takes trauma to trigger it.
I was a little madman.
Yeah.
I got dashed out of nursery and stuff. I was a madman, like when I was young. Like I was a little crazy man. So yeah, man, it just like it's a tough nut. It's a tough nut to crack, man. It's a very hard pill to swallow. You get me? But you know, you can either use it for your excellence, you can use it to excel, you can use it to be at top of your game. You know, but remember, it comes with a downside.
Of course.
You know, it's always going to come with, you know, as they say, for the ADHD, the highs and the lows. Like, you remember, if you're living this high, there's going to be some low at some point. And when that comes, you've got to know how to deal with it. And if you're in touch with your ADHD, you more know how to deal with it and what to do. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying that I'm perfect, because I get caught up in it. Do you know? I crashed my car and I was in bed for like 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Every day I got up, it got to me. I was just like, do you know what I mean? I was just stressing, so much stress. And then even like, and when I look at it now, do you know what I mean? Even I crashed it after that. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I ended up paying twice. So that was the first time. So the second time, I didn't allow it to get to me like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought, all right, cool, it happened, I'm gonna sort it, because I sorted it the first time. And then lo and behold, I sorted it the second time as well. So then you just think, what was all that stress for?
Do you how can I wait? See, obviously we talk about, you know, ADHD, a lot of the time you can be up there, then bang, down there. do you know when you're having an episode, or is it after?
No, you know.
So why, as someone, because I haven't got it, as someone with ADHD, why can you not say, right, I know this is an episode, let me just step back for a sec, or let me just take a deep breath?
You get overwhelmed.
Okay.
You get overwhelmed, man. It's just like, and you just can't stop. Because our brains wired differently and we think about where anything it is, that's why we're good business people.
Yeah.
That's why we're very good business people, because we've got that, everything ticks over, what could go wrong, everything's just ticking over, and you're exploring every single avenue before you've even started the project. So by the time you started the project, like sometimes I'm putting things into place 6 months before, but I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'll go back and then I'll say, oh my God, I've got that, and I've got this, oh my gosh, I just need to put it all together now. Shit, I didn't even know that I'd done it. So that's how our brains work so great.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? In a certain capacity. So it's either you lose it, you use it, in the way it's meant to be used, or you just have complete meltdowns all the time. Do you know what I mean? And that's where a lot of people go with the ADHD. They go into the meltdown zone a lot more often than they have that uptime. And when they do have that uptime, they're not using it in the right way. Do you know what I mean? Because, as I said, we're very good with business and stuff like that, with numbers and that. I'm good. I'm like, you know, like I'm good at figuring out stuff. I'm good at working stuff out. So, yeah, man, I use it to my advantage all the time. Do you know what I mean? And it's been working for me from when, at first when I was like, young age, I used to use it for criminality. You know what I mean? And other stuff like that. And, like, not to say that I was the worst criminal in the world, but, like, I used it. I made loads of money, I done stuff, do you know what I mean? So when you can put that brain into working it out how to do it better and legally and stuff like that, then you're onto a winner, innit? Like, so it's about using it. And I believe it's not just the ADHD, but that's the gift that I've been given, that I believe, to use what it is, because my handwriting's crap, you know what I mean? And my reading's good and stuff like that. So I've been gifted with certain things, but I wasn't gifted with other things. Like my learning capacity and stuff like that is really slow. Do you know what I mean? To learn certain things, that I'm really slow on it, but then there's certain things that I'm really, really quick on. Do you know what I mean? And these things are practical. These things they're not, when I was working with one of your mates one time. Like we was I was working with Westminster Council. And they was making us use like 5 systems at once, because the old system was coming out, they was putting in a new system, the computers and that. The transition, like straight, I worked that out quick. I was on it. I worked it out so quickly that I was being lazy with it. I ain't doing it, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll top that all up. You know what I mean? I was just so lazy with, like, when you're meant to be on the ball and doing things like, you know what I mean? But it become like things like that just become so easy for us. It's like you just become lazy with it. It doesn't stimulate you in any way.
So I think that's what happens a lot with kids in school. That they're so far ahead in terms of they get it quick, they get bored, and that's when they start getting distracted.
The struggle stimulates me a lot. So that's why I'll always be in a position where I'll look like maybe, or want to feel like I'm struggling. Because if I feel like that, then that gives me the strive to do more.
Wicked. Right, let's end it on that, man. We've covered a lot there. And we've unpacked a lot, and we've found out some things that I didn't know. I'm sure the viewers didn't know. So I appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, man. Big up, bro.
So what are you saying for the rest of 2025?
Whoa, look out, man, look out. That's all I can say, man, because I'm not a person that keeps saying all of these logged in stuff. I'm doing this, I'm doing that on that day, I'm doing this on this day. I just, put up my things a few weeks or a month before or whatever, like if it's my parties, of course. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's got a lot coming up, man. I've got a couple hidden gems coming out, you know what I mean? We'll see as we go along. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of projects for my local community and stuff like that, because I'm involved with a guy that's heavily involved with the council and stuff like that. Wicked. So yeah, man, I've got a lot, little things are coming up in the pipelines, a little few things, you know what I mean, for DJing and stuff like that. And it's, yeah, man, looking forward to it.
Wicked, that's man. I'm glad we finally got it done. I hope it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, because I know you had your reserves about me and the way I interview you, the headlines I put up. I know you don't like it, but it's all part and parcel of the job, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. Come on, man. This is what you are. You're a journalist, man.
Yeah, this is my journalist
side, talk like Chris Eubank Jr. You're a journalist.
No, this is my journalist side, bro. I try and do it properly, you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Appreciate you once again.
Yeah, man. Big up.
Thank you for watching as well. Like, subscribe, follow Lee B3 Edwards, aka Leroy. whatever he's going, what page you want to follow?
DJ Lee B300,
There we go.
Instagram, you know what I mean?
yeah.
A day in the life of B3, Snapchat. Yeah, man, that's where you can find me. Lee Edwards on Facebook. And yeah, man.
Foundation, Ministry of Sound.
Yeah,
When
Foundation, 26th of July.
is that? You
Not
finally
sure.
remember the date.
2025, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Remember the year. Love that. All right, bro. Thanks very much for coming, man.
All right,
Bless.
bless up, man.